Dad's on a hunting trip, and he hasn't been home in a few days.
That's such a simple scene, just two brothers talking in a dark apartment, but it says so much. It's incredible how Supernatural's pilot manages to introduce a show that would go on to last 15 years. But it does exactly what a great first episode should. It sets the tone, introduces the characters in a genius way, and hooks you with just the right amount of mystery. So let's talk about what makes this pilot so damn good. The episode starts with a nightmare. A normal house, a happy family, and then out of nowhere, the tragedy happens. Mary's death is fast and brutal. You don't get time to process it, and neither does the family. But I think that's the point. This show begins with something no one understands, something no one can make sense of. And from that moment on, everything is defined by it. The fire, the screaming, the look on John's face as he holds his sons. That's not just an origin story. It's a wound that never really stops bleeding. And then, just like that, we jump forward in time. Sam's at college, living a normal life alongside his girlfriend. He's away from whatever life he had before. And for a while, you're almost lured into thinking this might be a regular guy in a normal show. But that's until Dean shows up. Their first meeting is one of my favorite things about the whole episode because it tells you so much with so little. Dean comes in with chaos and energy while Sam's annoyed and skeptical. You don't need a flashback to their childhood to know there's history here. It's in the way they look at each other, the way they talk around things. But the moment Dean tells Sam their dad is missing, that's when the show actually begins. That's what drags Sam back into this world he thought he left behind. And once they hit the road, that's when you realize what this show's going to be about. Just two brothers driving through the night, heading towards something dark, something dangerous, and they don't even know it yet. The case they land on, The Woman in White, is a classic ghost story. Nothing complicated, just an old urban legend about a woman who kills cheating men. But the way the show presents it makes it feel terrifying in the best way possible. There's this sense of quiet dread throughout the whole thing. The abandoned house, the flickering lights, the way she appears and disappears, it's all done with taste. And that's important because the show isn't trying to overwhelm you with effects or spectacle. It's trying to make you feel the danger before you even understand it. But what makes the plot work isn't just the ghost. It's how the case slowly pulls Sam and Dean back into each other's orbit. They're working together again, even if it's awkward. They fall into their rhythm. Dean is still all about jokes, and Sam still rolls his eyes. But when things start getting serious, when lives are at stake, you see how much they still trust each other. There's also something really smart about how the case mirrors the personal stakes. The Woman in White is driven by betrayal. Her story is about love gone wrong, about not being able to move on. That's not just there for the scare factor. It's there to reflect what's happening between Sam and Dean, and between them and their dad. Everyone in this episode is chasing something that's already broken. And that brings me to the characters because honestly, this pilot doesn't get enough credit for how well it handles them. Sam could have easily been the plain and generic character who's just there so the audience can follow along, but he's not. He has strong opinions and he's conflicted. He doesn't want to go on this trip and he doesn't believe in what Dean does. But underneath all of that, you can tell he still cares. He's still tied to this life whether he wants to be or not. And that inner conflict gives him depth right away. Dean, on the other hand, feels fully developed from day one. He's the older brother who never left. He's carrying all the weight, still stuck in the world Sam escaped. But you can tell his exaggerated personality is there to cover something deeper. He's desperate, not just to find their dad, but to keep the family together. You get that sense that he's been holding things together on his own for way too long. And then there's John Winchester, who doesn't even show up, but somehow still feels like a main character. That's quite impressive. It's almost like his presence hangs over everything. The way Dean talks about him, the way Sam reacts. You know this guy shaped their entire lives. He's the mystery inside the mystery, and the show leans into that without overplaying it. Now, as for the Woman in White, she's not the most memorable villain in the show's history, but she doesn't need to be. What matters is how she's used. She's there to set the tone. This isn't going to be a monster show with just jump scares. All the monsters are going to mean something. There's a sadness to her, even if what she does is horrific. You don't sympathize with her exactly, but you understand what broke her, and that's what makes her scary. Not just that she kills, but that she used to be a person. But the thing that actually made the first episode so special has to be the vibe. The unique look of it, the dark, shadowy, and cold atmosphere, the music that's loud and nostalgic, the pacing that's slow in the right place, and especially tense when it needs to be. It just felt so different from all the other shows that were airing at the time. Even the humor lands without ever undercutting the tone. Dean gets some great lines, the kind of stuff that would become signature to his character later on, but it never feels like the show's trying too hard to be funny. It feels like that's just the way Dean copes. And then, right when it feels like the episode is wrapping up, Sam's girlfriend dies. It's totally unexpected and brutal. It mirrors Mary's death almost exactly, and in that moment, everything changes. Sam isn't just going on a trip anymore. He's not helping Dean out of guilt for a little while. Now it's personal. Now the thing that broke their family is back, and it's coming for him too. That final shot of the two of them walking out of the apartment, not saying a word, just heading to the car. It's such a good ending. No big music, no dramatic speech, just two brothers back on the road, heading into the unknown. And it feels right. It feels earned. The reason this pilot still holds up, maybe even more now than it did then, is because it understood exactly what kind of story it was telling. It wasn't rushing to show you demons or introduce a big prophecy. It started small, with two brothers, a missing dad, and a ghost story, and that was more than enough.